Everyone, it's Shelf246 coming out of the shadows to play some Trailmakers. I don't know if I've played this in the... Yes, I have. I have played this in the past, showing some glitches and flaws and some of the creations I have made. There have been updates since. So now you can just hold space and endlessly fly up. There's this another cool thing. You can glitch through the ground. You can be a land shark, human. Um, Another thing that's happened to me quite a bit is you could glitch your vehicle underground, though I can't get it to work right now, so. Um, I'll be heading into some of the builds that I have to show off sort of what me and my brother Phil have been doing. I'll be right back. Alright, I have everything set up, so I have to say, me and my brother, Nightcrawler, had a lot of fun designing tanks, especially ones with turrets. Now, this one right now was just the first one I created. I have to say, I was very proud of it. I didn't get any ideas from anyone. I built this all on my own. I use, Q and D, the turn to the right, and E and A, the turn to the left, and I can use Q and E to go forward, A and D to go back. I have W and S just for a little more horsepower if I want it. But this, I have to say, is definitely artillery. I can just shoot really far. Look at that distance, man. But, hitting down turns the turret down, like so. Hitting up, arrow. Now, these are arrows. I'm hitting down arrow to look down. And I'm hitting W to look up. I have it a small increment so that way you can adjust accordingly. Now, these buggers are fast at first when you get them up to speed. They turn kind of weirdly. But all in all, this has got to be my most favorite one. Just, I don't think I could do any better than this. Well, I did. That's what I thought anyway. I thought I did better. And I have to say, I kinda did. I don't know for sure. But let me get up to speed and show you how fast this thing can go. Once you get up to speed, it's kind of hard to hit, hard to lead this thing and everything. It can take to terrain pretty well. So yeah. All in all, pretty good tank. Don't think I could top it, but I did. Now, one of the problems about the other tank that I had up and running right there was that it was too weak. The armor was, there wasn't enough armor to protect it. Now, this one is decked out with armor. The only problem, turret doesn't move. You can barely go up, you can barely go down. But this is more like a tank destroyer, so to speak. It is definitely not meant for... This has a double shot, reload, double shot, reload. But yeah, it's a long reload because I figure try and replicate the speed at which it did in World of Tanks, a game I played that was actually quite fun. Let me see if I can get up to full speed. Unfortunately, some of these drift a little to the right. That's mainly just because of block glitches due to the fact that these blocks aren't necessarily happy with touching blocks that aren't supposed to be touching. But that is my tank, and same controls. These are tank controls: Q and E, A and D, W and S. But yeah. And on to the next one. Okay. I want to just quickly show this because this is something that I've noticed. Yeah. If you use the heavy cannon, it just blows them right out of the sky. Like, literally, right out of the sky. They don't blow up on the ground. They pop up into the air and then blow up. This one's drifting due to blocks hitting blocks, like I said. With making tanks like these, it's kind of hard to not make blocks hit blocks. This one, I have to say, is more stylish. It looks more like an actual tank. Not as much armor, but it definitely has that feel to what a tank would be. Now, with that, you definitely got that distance. You got that nice distance. Now, if I put my turret down, this is the same thing as what I had first had. I can't go as far, but it's definitely a long-range tank. It slides. Now, this is one of the problems about making these type of tanks, is it slides on its servo. So it will slide around. It won't stop immediately. You'll have to, unfortunately, hold one of the other arrows. So if you're going right, hold left to stop. If you're going left, hold right to stop. It won't be immediate, but it's there. But I think the concept on this was just phenomenal. I really like it. This is my best stylish tank I had. Oh, and I realized the more plating you have, like, the more plates you have, the better, because with the small guns, they take more hits to damage. With these are like SMGs in World of Tanks. You have to pinpoint and kill. But yeah. Now, moving on to this one, this guy's speed. I know I'm, like, dragging on and stuff, but I really do like it. It's a nice little effect. The one problem about this is it will really drag to the right because the turret is interfering with the steering. I don't know how to fix it. It will constantly do this. The only way to battle it is to just hold A while you're holding W, Q, and E. It'll go straight as it possibly can until it starts drifting off. It has enough horsepower to get up high hills, so these are really good tanks, all in all. Nice positioning power. All in all, really good. They take terrains pretty well. They turn very fast if you give them the time to. They can't turn real fast if you are going forward. But, oh, if they're on a hill, yeah, they're definitely not going to be able to turn very fast, if you noticed. But, yeah, let's get on to the next thing. Yep, still got it. pistons are a little bit loose. There's better graphics and stuff. There's one spot, however, I need to show you guys because I don't think anyone... Well, I'm pretty sure they have found this already, but I just wanted to cover it just in case. Where is this bloody island? A lot of the island actually has updated, so there's more stuff to it. There's a lot of different loops now that you can go through. Here's where the new thing is. I checked this out quite a bit ago, quite a long time ago. This was never accessible. Right here. This originally had a grade on it, and now you can head in and get the shark fin, which leads me to my next inquiry. Well, I don't know if I use that correct. Leave a comment down below if I use that correctly, because I don't think I made that. I don't think I used that word correctly. But anyways, here is my water vehicle that I have created. That is brand new, brand spanking new, fast as all hell. As you can see, the seat's upside down, like always. It has reverse turning, which sucks, I know, because it's upside down. But all in all, it's really, really cool. If you want to get up the speed, you have to hit up, the up arrow. So, like, giving it more throttle, giving it less throttle. With less throttle, you can turn more, but you still have the speed with you. Do be aware, if you turn it down too fast, it will go underwater, just like that. The slowest I have gotten this is... .34 miles per hour. I can't go any slower. I go any slower, this happens. So, let me show you the fastest I've gotten this thing. Oh. I cannot get it any higher than this. There's a secret formula to actually getting this to 300. But I don't know it specifically. But you can get really top speed on this thing. I have to say the fins on the back, the shark fins don't really do anything for aerodynamics. They do help a little, but it's not enough to fully change the trajectory you have. You would have to have a lot of them on if you want this, if you want turning. But this is my shark vehicle. I don't think you could get any faster than this teeny little thing. Not a matter of faster, small and fast at the same time. And that can change throttle at will. See, most people use multiple of these and have them hotkeyed to stuff, but they don't have like the alternating throttle where you can actually change the speed at which you want to go. So I'm just saying, I would like to see someone try and use this and make it go a little bit faster. I would like to see that. Well, on to the next thing. Alright, I'm just gonna jump wholeheartedly into this one. It's a hot air balloon. Now, you may be thinking, but he has dimbals. Those things make you they help you get into the air, yeah, but once I get to the height desired, I float. And and I can go forward, I can go up, I can go down. The hot air balloon itself will naturally start slowly going down. I have suspension there, so that way if you land on your side or something like that, it will reposition itself naturally. Oh, another thing. Some of you may be thinking, well, he can do that with gimbals. Can he take off normally? And yes, I indeed can. It takes a little while, just like a normal hot air balloon, but it works just like a hot air balloon. I will show you the mechanics of it. So, but to go up, if you hit space, it will turn off the one below. Now, some of you may be thinking, why doesn't it go the other way? Because wouldn't the thing push up the balloon into the machine itself? Well, in fact, it reverses this effect. The hover pads actually do the reverse effect of what you think would actually happen. So this pushes down that hover pad right here, pushes down on the ball, which creates lift here. I don't know why it doesn't go the other way around, where it pushes this and it creates momentum this way, like downward. So this would be going down instead of up, but it does the reverse, I guess. They definitely fixed the hover pads in this latest patch because one of my vehicles no longer works, and it is my bike. Here it is. This is the one with the wheel. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. This vehicle used to be really cool. It worked really well. It never tipped. But now that the new update has happened, my hover bike no longer works. It has broken due to the physics of the hover pads. If you want a hover pad to fully work now, you have to have them pointing in the right direction. So, levitation still works. If you're in the air and you have the hover pads facing towards yourself, they still work. But you have to have the whole thing covered. Otherwise, it won't work. It will start sliding like a normal hover pad. It wouldn't stick to the ground. It won't take to the airs. It will just hover there. So that's one of the problems about the new update that I kind of hate. They took away a feature that was really awesome. I mean, I can still do it. Here, let me quickly get set up. I mean, hopefully I can take off like I always do. There you go. I can still use hover pads just like I would normally, but you have to have the whole hover thing working, otherwise it won't work. Oh yeah, this is my hover ship. I never showed this, but it works just like a normal plane would, but it's all hover-based. Its propulsion is primarily hover-based. Well, I say propulsion when I have that, but what I mean is lift. Its form of lift is primary just hover pads, which work really well. Like, I don't think I could get any better than this. I mean, look how stable that is. Like, that's really stable. I am, like, slowly going upward. I think that's mainly due to the fact that you can't, like, perfectly flatten this out. But all in all, the hover pad has changed quite a bit. So be prepared for glitches in your hover pad designs. Yeah. Yeah, let's head back. Alright. Now, some of you may be thinking this is a ripoff or a copy of something else, but I will tell you legitimately, before this update, before actually 3 updates on this whole entire thing, I created this. It is fully functional. It does start to do that. It does start going straight down because the lift is actually above the center of mass. I thought it was fine, and it is. It really is, because I can still control it like a normal plane. I can still keep it in the air quite well. It's very maneuverable. Now let me show you the other version of this. And actually, here's something that I finally get to say. I have successfully created a bird. Well, not a flapping, flying bird, but a bird that flies using the feather form of what an actual bird would be. I would have to get all the way up, but I highly doubt it with my best one that I have. It works similarly to what a bird would work as. Though there's an odd effect. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Those things don't exist anymore. If I hit down like this, technically I should be turning straight down into the ground, but I'm not. I'm lifting up, in fact. If I do this, I start falling down. There's another thing that I have found. If I do this, turning becomes primarily a small bit easier. Uses the banking of what a bird would have. It is definitely hard to get it to turn. It's not easy, but the banking works primarily just like a bird would. There are some flaws to how it works, but it really works well when you get it working perfectly. But it uses actual positioning of the wings and how you're supposed to truly fly this. I mean, how can you get any more bird in this? And I can turn these off and fly like a normal bird. Of course, after a while I'll start stalling, so I'll have to stay down, but primarily I can float to the ground like this naturally. And I can lift up and stuff. Now, this is my bird. My bird that works really well. I had this from day one. I wanted to figure out how to make a bird. I will show you what used to be my bird. My bird is like all the way at the beginning. Like, this was my first shot. Whoops, wrong one. My first shot at making the bird. It was shit. Because I didn't know how to make it at first. See, I thought that if you had enough of these, that it would create lift. Well, yeah, that was true. But I forgot to realize you're not supposed to have them all facing this way. Otherwise, the feather effect won't take effect. See, with bird feathers, they have interlinking hooks that you have, but I don't. They're all one path. They're not like a feather would be. So that is the one flaw that I found. You're not supposed to keep them all in one direction. You're supposed to create what a bird feather would look like. Not like this, but all the way Yeah, it's been a long, long, long trip to make these, but a crisscross pattern is as close as you're gonna get to what an actual bird feather would react like. Positioning and everything. Now, I made this, but I also made these. I have created this plane, which works well. It works just like the first one I showed you. Though it is really, really hard. Well, actually, it's quite easy to take off, but this one consistently turns upward. Now, I have no clue why this is, because its thrust is actually above the center of mass, so it shouldn't be doing this, but for some odd reason, it just keeps turning up. And that's when I realized it's not because something's wrong with the game. It's because the things that I have there, the helicopter blades, are actually creating thrust upward. They're creating lift, so I can take off straight up, like almost straight up. This is like the best way of like just if you're heading straight towards the ground, you can just pull up at the last moment and fly away. But that's that one. That's like the one after this. The one that kept falling forward. And then I got it to fall backward. But I created another solution. And this solution balanced everything out. So you have to hold down, go forward, and hold S to lean backward. And it flies straight. Well, as straight as you're gonna get it. But this works just like any other plane. It works perfectly. Like, I'll go through this ring of fire just to prove to you how well this works. Bam. Easy as pie. Now, some of you are probably like, oh, that's easy. Ring of fires are easy, man. I beg to differ. But if you can't take that, well, I'm not really good at flying. But, all in all, this is a really good design. It's great for pulling straight up and straight down. Woo! Doesn't work perfectly, but once you get it down, you can easily take off, fly around, fly how you want. You could do consistent loops, go up and down. Now this is using turning. This is just turn and go up, turn and go up as a way of turning. And I prefer it because it just feels more natural. Like I can actually control which way I want to go and how much I want to go that direction. There we go. Beautiful. And you notice how we're barely losing any lift. So it works really well. Now, how it's designed is these are to oppose each other. This one creates lift downward, and this one creates lift upward. Now, you have to turn this slightly backwards, like you saw, to actually create the anti-force to oppose this one. But once you got that down, it flew straight as an arrow. Then after that, I was like, what if I can do this just like the bird I first created? And you would be shocked Let me see if I set up to a right. No, that's a bad place to start. Let me rotate. That'll have to do, but it works just like any of the others. Oh, this is gonna be a tight. Oh, and with this one, I didn't realize this till just now, but this uses the reverse of what I've been doing. So this one flies straight as an arrow, like a flying board, but it works just as well. Of course, it turns really well, like really well. You can definitely finesse this if you have the skill set for it. But this is like having an arrow. Just a plain, straight up, an arrow in your arsenal. Just flying through. Let's see if I can weave this. Yeah, there we go. You can do barrel rolls with it. Once you get on its side, it starts working pretty well. But once you get it like this, it starts waving. But don't worry too much about the waving. It only affects which way it tilts. But all in all, this is a pretty good plane. And it uses just straight feathers, no cross feather. Wings is all straight, works just like you think it would. All of them are facing downwards, so they're all creating thrust upward. Everything is curved downward, so you got that perfect thrust up, that perfect lift. It will drop down like a particle board. If a particle board ended up falling out of the sky from really high up, it'll just drop just like a particle board would. Well, to a degree, it doesn't topple like a particle board would, but it pretty similar. But these were my ideas. I would like to see people try and build these. Now I would like them to actually go into the game, create these, or well, not create them. I will be putting these up so people can actually get these, but please, I want to see someone else's variation of what I've created. Like, actually use the methods that I've been using right here. It may be confusing to some, but I know for the ones that are listening and know exactly what I'm talking about, you can use the science behind it. These actually use real science, which I really like. And I'm not talking about this, and that wing. I could take these wings off and it would still work. I'm talking about these. These right here. Use helicopter blades as wings. I want to see someone successfully finish what I started. Not the way I've done it, because what I've done is create a glider that barely glides. I want someone to actually create a flying, flapping bird, like it actually uses the mechanics of flapping. Now that I've given away a sort of the secret to how you want to do it, I really hope that someone tries it and gets it working, because in all honesty, this is my dream. I want to see it fulfilled. I truly want to see this fulfilled. So please, those who are out there and working hard on trying to figure out how the bird thing works and you just don't get it, I have created the solution for you. I've shown you each of my creations. If you want, you can use straight feathered or cross feathered. But oh, one more challenge. I want you guys to create tanks. I want to see what sort of tanks you guys can create for me, because that would be awesome. I don't think anyone else has gone towards the tank end of the spectrum. I think it's a really unique idea, and I think people should start pursuing it more than others. But anyways, these will be up on the Steam Workshop, and I hope you guys do take on the challenges that I've given you. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy, use your tail to whack that like button, subscribe to me if you haven't already, it'd be much appreciated, love a lot, and it would help out my channel very, very much. It really would. And I hope that me putting up these videos sort of makes up for what I've been missing. I missed quite a few Sundays. I've been trying my best to stay on schedule. But anyways, thank you all for enjoying, and I'm leaving you guys in the shadows. Bye.